It's a field back block, and that's
He's a guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports. Welcome back to Steel City Live. We truly appreciate you guys diving in with us here on a Tuesday as we are going to start to talk about how do the Pittsburgh Steelers figure this thing out and where do they start to fix things? That's the big question. Where do you start to fix things when the whole team honestly is playing like shit? You got to really dive in and you got to start to dissect things and you got to figure out a starting point. That's really what you need to do if you're Mike Tomlin. And he has to look in the mirror here. Mike Tomlin has to look in the mirror and say to himself, do we start with coaching? Do we start with the defense? Do we start with the offense? Do we start with the O-line? Do we start with other coaches on the coaching staff? Do we start with trades? Where do we start to fix this? And there's a million and one options. The big one's the defense. The defense getting gashed, the like-minded defensive head coach like Mike Tomlin. And what do you do? What does he do? That's the big question schematically for me. What does Mike Tomlin do here? How does he change this? You look at a comment made by Julian Edelman, former New England Patriot, on his show, and they're talking about the Steelers, and he says, "Are the Steelers still, covering linebackers on three? Meaning like the third wide receiver, meaning the slot guy." He asked that question. He says, "Do they still cover the slot guy? Do they still cover the three with the linebacker?" And the guy on the show with him, he says, "Yeah." And he's like, "They did that when I played against Mike Tomlin, and it didn't work then." Julian Edelman goes on to say, I had 9 catches, 10 catches a game every time because they would have that mismatch that didn't work in the Steelers' favor defensively. And they're still doing it. They have not changed. Julian Edelman hasn't been in the league for years, guys. Years. We're talking about the Tom Brady Patriots. And Mike Tomlin hasn't changed. Julian Edelman is still talking about the same schematics that the Pittsburgh Steelers did then. There's an issue there. This isn't the first instance of this happening with Mike Tomlin and former players in the National Football League talking about the same things that they did then, they do now. I understand you want to have an identity. I understand you like consistency. I understand, though, this Mike Tomlin's ego is far too big, far too big. He's got to allow this thing to start to change, and he's got to change, or the Pittsburgh Steelers need to show his ass the door. And if they don't, there's going to be a continuing of this effect over and over and over again. And guys, that's the issue right there. When the schematics haven't changed for 2 decades, point blank, period. The schematics haven't changed for 2 decades under Mike Tomlin. Well, I'll say this. The defensive schematics haven't changed any since Dick LeBeau left this team, and it changed for the worse. After Dick LeBeau, they changed some things around. They did some different things, and they haven't changed since. They have changed and remained stale and stagnant that entire time. Dick LeBeau, the inventor of the Fire Blitz, the guy that invented that 3-4 menacing defensive set. He invented that. That's Dick LeBeau. Yeah, others invented the 3-4 set long before. I'm talking about the style of play that Dick LeBeau utilized. The way Dick LeBeau moved players around and created exotic blitzes and created exotic looks for offenses to have to think each and every down. Created the punishment that was the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, down in and down out. You look at players now on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Let's just take, for instance, Darius Slay, a guy in my eyes that would have been ripped out of that ball game and not put back on the field. A guy that was blatantly on prime time on national television against a superior opponent that you had to come up for. You had a lead. You were doing things that you needed to do to start the game. You go into the locker room, you got the lead, and the guy goes out there and literally misses tackles on purpose because he doesn't want the contact. 34 years of age. Do you start there? Do you fix it there? Is Eccles the answer? Do you put Eccles outside? Do you start to move Slay inside? I'm not comfortable with Darius Slay's tackling ability. And when the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I mentioned, still utilize linebacker coverages on the slot receiver typically, still trying to get away with that, creating a mismatch not in their favor, I don't like Darius Slay's tackling ability there because you're going to be forced to make tackles on the interior of the defense. And Darius Slay is not doing that. There's an issue there, guys, and a big issue. And where do they go to fix it? That's the issue. I think really right now, you got to start in the secondary. That's where you have to start to get this thing fixed. Darius Slay's got to be benched. He's got to be limited. He's got to be utilized in some other role, some other way. Joey Porter Jr. is going to have to figure it out, or you go find somebody else to do it. Jalen Ramsey's going to have to be utilized a little bit better. Thornhill, Peppers, those guys. Going to have to be utilized a little bit better. Going to have to play better. Eccles, going to have to be moved into a more significant role on the outside. I told you guys this in the offseason when they brought in Eccles from the New York Jets, that he could play inside and out, and he has proven to be the best corner really right now, in my opinion, on this football team. You look at Slay's production, and everything has almost went up by double digits in terms of passer rating against him, completed passes against him, yardage, tackles, everything has almost went up double digits in terms of the bad, in the wrong way. There's an issue. And I think Darius Slay's costing a lot right now. When you refuse to tackle somebody, you blatantly, on primetime television, primetime football, and you play for an AFC North team, you blatantly blow tackles on purpose. Here's an issue. A real issue. Let's get to the comments here on Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to the show. We truly appreciate that, and your contributions mean more than you will ever know. Daniel Warman in the house. He said, hey, Jason, should the Steelers be buyers or sellers before the deadline November 4th? I think you got to be a buyer. And they are in first place. We can't take that away from them. Yes, they are in a skid right now, and they aren't looking good. Absolutely. They are looking horrible. But should they be buyers or sellers? The answer is buyers, because they have the available cap space to do so, first and foremost. They don't have to move too much around to make anything happen. They have the available resources in terms of draft capital to make some things happen quite easily. And honestly, they could use some pieces, especially a wide receiver, because you look at the abysmal numbers of the wide receiving core. You look at the lack of availability, basically, by that tight end room. They weren't utilized at all. They weren't available. It's like they didn't even play. They had 30 yards on 5 catches. Roman Wilson, the shining bright spot. And honestly, his was late in the game. Most of it anyway, at least some of it. 4 catches, 74 yards, and a tutty. Metcalf, he's steady, 5 catches, 55 yards, but he's had some games this year. So you like that production, but you got to add some other weapon there. Calvin Austin, coming off that injury, hasn't got back into Calvin Austin type things. You need to add a weapon there. You need to add a significant weapon there. And I think that maybe can help out things a little bit. They were starting to get the run game going a little bit, but when you can't throw the football, you're one-dimensional again. And that's the issue with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're constantly in a state of one dimension. And you can't win in this league being a one-dimensional offense. You can't win. You can't do it. You can't win being a one-dimensional defense. Oh, they took away the run. Yeah, they did pretty damn good job against the run. They didn't give up any like huge runners. Nobody had a big day against them. Yeah. But guess what? You gave up so many yards in the pass game, you couldn't defend anybody. They're totally one dimensional. They cannot play complementary football in any which way, shape, or form. So I think Bayer is the only way that you can go here if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good to see you, Daniel. Sean in the house. He said, "What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Good to see you too, my friend." JD in the house. He says, "Hey, Jason, good to see you, JD. My Floyd is pink 79. I think we start hopefully this week. Yeah, you have no more time, guys. We are almost at the midway point of the season. Let that sink in how fast this has went so far. You are almost to the midway point of the season, and we're talking about issues that should be ironed out in training camp. I mean, really. I truly tried to come into this season and be 1000% optimistic. I really tried to be somebody that was really, really speaking some encouraging things. And deep down, I knew what I thought would be the case, but I really had high hopes. I thought that they made some significant changes. I thought that they did some significant things. So, I thought leaning toward the hopeful part was the right way to go. But as I sit here now, I was dead wrong. Zoc Curry in the house. Grim Medusa's still on top of the division. We got this. Yeah, they are. And we can't take that away from them. But here's the thing, guys. What good is it to be on top of the division in a shitty division? Probably the worst division in the National Football League at this point. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's lighting the world on fire. So are you proud of being on top of that division? Especially when you're reeling. It's great when you're just crushing people and you're winning ball games and yeah, you're the cream of the crop. But when you're in a division where everybody sucks, including the team in first place, I'm not sure if I'm proud of that. Mark Malone in the house, hard to win when you're giving up 30 plus all the time. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mark. You can't win doing that. I think the offense has been holding up their end of the bargain, even being outgunned in some instances, not having the available weaponry that you need to have sometimes. Um, they've been up there in the 20s, high 20s, 30s, which is a breath of fresh air. You're not used to a quarterback throwing 2 touchdown passes each and every week. We're not used to that, but we're getting that type of production from Aaron Rodgers. Now, we need to see a Tomlin defense learn to step up. My Floyd is pink 79. The only team close to us is the Bengals, and they are sitting at 3-5. Ravens are still in front of us. Um, Still in front of us both games, and we win them. We have home playoff game in Pittsburgh. That's our ticket right now. I agree. Yeah, that's the way it is. But here's the thing. I think you got to start reeling off some wins. You can't go into the playoffs like you have been. You can't limp into the playoffs. I don't care if you win this division and you have 10 wins and you win this division. You're limping into the playoffs. You haven't done anything spectacular. You're not looking good. All it spells, guys, is a first week playoff exit, a wild card round exit. What's to be excited about with that? I don't see it, guys. I don't know. Oh, my voice sounded crazy there. Ooh, forgive me. Danny George. Hey, Steelers family. Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Danny. Truth Song says a bunch of jabronis in the secondary. You aren't lying there. Aaron Derrick in the house. He says, hey, Jason, rough game. I'm done making excuses for this team. Yeah, I've tried to spin it in every which way, shape, or form to make this football team feel better in my head. But when I look at the product that's currently out there, I look again at guys like Darius Slay that are so bad right now. You look at Darius Slay, and again, QBR and completion percentage against him is astronomical. Darius Slay, I believe, early throughout his career, prior to this year, was about a 57%, 56% completion rate against him. But now it's in the 70s, the high 70s. You can't win with corners having 70% completion rate, high 70% completion rate, almost 80% completion rate against them. It's absolutely virtually impossible to win ball games, guys. It's just really, really tough. And when you have no respect, we talk about the crazy Pittsburgh Steelers pass rush, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, blah, blah, blah. We talk about that, and we talk about that every week, including myself. And I always say Steelers got to get pressure. They got to get pressure. But when you saw what Jordan Love did the other night, which is literally have zero effing respect for that secondary, none. When you go off your back foot and you just chuck the ball up in an area you think somebody is, and you just chuck it in the air, float it as high as you can, just whip it out there, that tells me what? That you have zero respect for anybody in that secondary, and that includes Jalen Ramsey. That includes Joey Porter Jr. That includes Darius Slay. That includes everybody. That you do not give a shit. They don't scare you. You don't think they can cover. Actually, you know they can't cover. Actually, you know they can't tackle. So you're willing to jeopardize a turnover by just going off your back foot and chucking the football in the air. That should tell every Pittsburgh Steelers fan something. That the secondary is absolute dog water. That they are horrible. They are trash. It should tell us that. And the only way to fix that is for them to dig down deep and figure it out real quick and in a hurry. Because you can't win in the playoffs playing secondary football like that. You cannot win. It is impossible to win. Mark Malone says, yeah, we're going to have to see if Glass Trice can actually play a game or two. I'd also bring up Dante Kent. Both these bastards are healthy. Yeah, they are. And it's just one of those things, man. As Sean says, time to roll the dice with Corey fucking Trice. We always love to say that. As Sean says it, Sean started that shit, rolling the dice with Corey Trice. But anyway, you are going to have to figure some things out. And sitting Darius Slay is the answer in my eyes right now. It's not if, it is. Sitting Darius Slay has to be number one priority this week for Mike Tomlin. I think that's the first change you make. And I think you move Brandon Eccles out to out to the edge. Again, Eccles has played really well, in my opinion, in terms of the secondary as a whole. I think he's played probably one of the best out of everybody, and especially at the cornerback position. And he's a guy that has versatility, a guy that isn't afraid to tackle. He's significantly younger than Darius Slay, and I think it gives you a fresh set of legs and a fresh perspective and possibly some energy out there on the edge. And you can't keep putting Darius Slay out there at 34 years old. Just because of his last name, just because of the name on the back of his jersey. That's not what you're playing for. You're playing for the name on the side of the helmet, and the term is Pittsburgh Steelers. That's who you're playing for. And that's what everything should be about, is the Steelers, not about the last name on the back of a jersey. I don't care if you're an all-pro, future Hall of Fame type guy. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's TJ Watt. If you're not producing and you're costing this football team in a major, major way, your ass got to go to the bench. And that's just the way it's got to go. This is football, man. There is no tomorrow. You got to fix shit immediately. This isn't baseball where you got 162 fucking games to sit there and muscle through. This is the National Football League. Games are limited. You got to make sure you get the shit done quickly. You can't afford to go out there and just have week after week after week of horrible performances. You cannot survive. This is the ultimate gauntlet to run, man. You're in the AFC conference. There's good teams every freaking where. Good quarterbacks. No, well, good quarterbacks aren't everywhere, but there's good quarterbacks that you're going to run into. You're going to have to be able to match points, and you're going to have a defense that can get off the field occasionally. You're not asking them to go out there and be superhuman. You're not asking them to go out there and get a stop every damn time. You're not asking them to be the early 2000s, late 90s Steelers, the Dick LeBeau Steelers, where they would goose egg people, where they would limit people to 7 to 10 points. You're not asking for that, man. And Mike Tomlin's stuck in that era of football where he thinks he can win games 13-10. You can't fucking do it. You can't do it. No, he can't. He can't, Mark. He can't be any worse. Aaron Derrick says, I think Darius Slay's attitude is basically he won a Super Bowl last year and he comes here and doesn't put in the same effort. I don't know. I just think, honestly, I think the whole team has a bad attitude, guys. Go watch the games. Go watch them. They argue back and forth on the football field. You see them talking shit to each other. That's not a team, man. Yeah, I can see going back to being chippy with each other sometimes to motivate, but it don't look like that. The body language tells me that it's one guy talking shit. And what does this tell me about this football team? And it tells me about one thing really, really huge here. It's that everybody on that football team's looking to blame somebody else. And what's that tell me? That they're all ego fucking maniacs. They learn from their head coach. We signed Marquez Valdez Scantling. I did not know that. I didn't see that, JD. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that for you pointing that out. I have no thoughts on it right now because I don't remember the last time or who he played for. So if anybody's out there that can throw some statistics inside of the chat, we'll talk about Marquez Valdez Scantling. I remember him through the years, but currently I don't remember his last immediate stop that he where he was before the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I need some numbers and I need some information on that. I'll have to look into him. I did not know it. I don't even know how I didn't see it. I did not look at Steeler news before I come on here. Thank you again, JD. Happy Tuesday, everyone. That's from Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Make sure you guys always go check out Daniel Barry. Give him some love and subscribe to his channel too. Aaron Derrick, yeah, first place now, and we're in the same position last year. And look what happened. They're not beating Indianapolis. No, here's the thing, guys. I look at the Indianapolis game in two ways. And I think this is a very elementary way of saying it, but it's really this basic. It's going to go one or two ways. Either the Steelers hold on and win in an exciting fashion, like I'm talking a last second Chris Boswell field goal. That's the only way they can win. They're not going to dog walk the Colts. So that's the only way that they can, that's the only path they have to win is literally an exciting, down to the last minute tight ball game. That's it. That's their only path. Or they are going to get absolutely dog walked, and I'm talking beat, and I'm talking beat bad. What they call it is curb stomping, and that's what they're going to do. It's going to be like the Indianapolis Colts lays the Pittsburgh Steelers and puts their teeth on the curb, and they walk up and they stomp on their head. That's what it's going to be like. We need Waddle. uh, It's all right, Aaron. I'm trying to catch up in the comments, guys, here. All right, let me try to get to some people I haven't talked to too much in here tonight. Daniel Warman, I watched the game over, and it seemed like the one player who was fired up was Aaron Rodgers. I believe the Steelers will win the AFC North. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be too hard to win the AFC North because I think every team has so many issues. You know what I mean? And honestly, the Ravens are going to finish with, at least 9 wins. I can guarantee that for sure. I know that they were bad here at the beginning, but they're going to have 9 wins at the very least here. So the Steelers are going to have to figure out how to get 12 wins. That wins the AFC North, in my opinion. They're going to have to figure out how to get 11 or 12 wins, and I think they'll be okay. But you're right. I don't know about who was fired up, who wasn't. I just see a lot of bad body language, Daniel, and I don't understand it. And I see it on a lot of teams. It's just not the Steelers. I see it on a lot of teams. I didn't think even Tomlin could screw up this $165 million defense. I was wrong. Yeah, he could fuck up a wet dream, guys. Aaron Derrick, it's like, where do we go from here? I don't know the answer, man. I do not know the answer. Mark says, Tomlin is a colossal fudging idiot. But how can you screw up a $165 million defense? Corky from Life Goes On could do better. Ola D, Ola da, life goes on. You aren't lying. Mr. Fresh Edition. Sign CJ Gardner Johnson, trade number one pick for Sauce Gardner, and number two for defensive tackle Williams. Bench Slay for Corey Trice Jr. Use the 12 draft picks. This on the Steelers management. Make the trades. Jets are selling. Yeah, I mean, that's all great in theory, man, but this ain't Madden, and you can't make things like that happen just crazily. It's just not. I mean, we got to live in reality too, Mr. Fresh. I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm not saying you're wrong that they would be bad moves. I'm not. I'm just saying that we got to live in reality, and this isn't a video game, and things are a little bit more complex than that. And adding pieces, taking away pieces, trading pieces are a lot more complex. And when you start to be willy nilly and do things just by the seat of your pants, and you're just doing crazy shit, you end up being in a bad spot, and you end up looking like the New York Jets. And if you're not careful, that will happen quickly because you have to be careful with the moves you make inside of this league because every move is absolutely critical. From the guy that's fourth on the depth chart to the guy that starts, every move is critical. Every move could be a real issue for you if you mess it up. And again, I preach this constantly. Depth is key in this league. If you don't have solid rotational depth, you can't win. You cannot win Super Bowls. You cannot be a dominant football team in any way, shape, or form. You have to have rotational depth. It's all well and good to go out there and get a bunch of big name guys and sell everything you got and pay everything that you got and be in salary cap hell and be pressed against it. But now, okay, yeah, you got some good starters, but look how many injuries are in this league. These guys don't hit, bro. All year long, they don't hit. They don't do shit during the week, basically, in terms of physicality. Then you expect them to go out there and run into each other like freight trains. And then we all wonder why the injuries occur. You didn't see these types of injuries so much back in the day. You didn't. The injury bug is constant in this league. And that's why I am so hell bent on depth. You don't have a lot of players that can play a full 17 games. You don't have many players that do that on your roster each year. Typically, 9 times out of 10, your starter is going to miss some time, and you cannot put all your eggs into the starter's baskets. Depth has to be of utmost importance for you as a football team, and any good general manager should know that. Any good head coach would demand that. And yeah, I get what you're saying, but again, this isn't Madden. People can't come off the injury reserve because I reset the game. It's just crazy, man. Bang bang Stiller gang. Uh-oh, was Big Bang Bang Stiller gang in the house? Oh, there he is. AWOL Bang Bang Steeler gang. What's up, dude? There he is, the MVP, AWOL. He is the MVP. We love AWOL Bang Bang Stiller gang. All right, let's get back into it. Even Za says Bang Bang Steeler Gang. It's a cult following, guys. Bang Bang Steeler Gang is a cult following. Join it. Sup, caught this late. What's up, Scott? You're not late yet. We're only 28 minutes into the best show on YouTube. It's right here. It's Mike Drop Sports, and the show's Steel City Live. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Yeah, it is what it is. We're back to grinding here on the channel. And again, guys, I got even some comments. I can't remember who it was that said, hey, when you took your break to coach your kids and you weren't posting a lot, you lost all your viewership. Guys, I wasn't having fun anymore doing the channel. And I needed that break. So I'm back to having fun now because I wasn't doing it to where, guys, I was worrying like, oh, I got to build subscribers. I got to build the channel. I got to build views. I'm to the mindset now that I don't care if we gain, cool. If we don't, we don't, cool. I'm cool with this group that we have here and just talking football, man. I'm cool with it, and I feel like we got a loyal group of people. And you know what? There's people that have been doing Steeler YouTube channels for years and years and years and years, far before I even started my shit. And we got more subscribers and we do good. So I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I take the YouTube algorithm and I take it and I crumple it in a ball and I throw it. And the YouTube algorithm, they get flag on the play. So yeah, that's what I do with the algorithm. I don't even care anymore. We're just having fun talking Steelers football, and we're back to posting And we're back to doing live shows now that Jason doesn't have to coach football every single night of his life. The game has changed and he can't. That's Tomlin. Yeah, no doubt. There he is, the MVP. There he is. All right, let's get back to Aaron Derrick. Got another longer comment here. Let's get to Aaron's comment real quick. Pittsburgh has older, more experienced players, Pro Bowlers, Super Bowl champions, and veterans. Green Bay has one of the youngest rosters, less experienced, less veterans, and they wipe the floor with us. Yeah, youth is definitely sometimes something that works to your advantage in terms of fresh legs, fast, aggressive. You're not seeing that from the Steelers, guys. You don't see them aggressive hits. You don't see that aggressive way of playing. It's odd to me to watch this Steelers team. This generation of Steelers football is just not what I'm accustomed to as a Steelers fan. And I know I've been holding on to the past for a long time, trying to think to myself that this will all change. But Mike Tomlin is just simple minded. Mike Tomlin is just simply not a good coach. And the people that want to defend him and say how great he is and bring up statistics, whatever, he's not a good coach. He never won with a team of his own. He's never won a championship and hoisted a Lombardi with a team that he's built. And he's had a lot of chances, more chances than most head coaches ever get in a lifetime. And really, honestly, he's not done it. He's not done it a Mike Tomlin way and won. Uh, just the facts, guys. I just don't think Mike Tomlin's a good coach right now. I thought he was changing. I was trying to give him credit. I was trying to support him. But right now, as I look at it, when I hear some of these comments, especially the one from Julian Edelman when he's like, yeah, the linebackers covered the three. The linebackers have been doing that since I played Tomlin back in the day. It sucked then. I don't know why he's still doing it and never changed. I used to get 9, 10 catches against that every game. He couldn't stop me then. He couldn't even probably stop me now. You know, that type of stuff is just bad. That's players saying like, yeah, your guy sucks, bro. It's not Terrell Austin, guys. This is a Mike Tomlin defense. It's been this way since Dick LeBeau left. The last time a defense was not Mike Tomlin's was Dick LeBeau. That was Dick LeBeau's defense. And even at the end of Dick LeBeau's career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, even at the end of that tenure, Mike Tomlin's influence was big. Mike Tomlin's influence was starting to weigh heavy on Dick LeBeau's defense. It's all right, Aaron. You're allowed to rant, bro. Yeah, absolutely. It's true. Hey, well, bang, bang, Steeler gang says Pittsburgh lead the Colts 37 out of 46 games. We are 27-7 against them. Yeah, but it's 2025, my friend. And the Colts are 7-1 football team. And they're probably the best team in football right now. So, you know, you're probably looking at the Steelers going 27-8 against them. Aaron says, dude, if they had a problem stopping Tucker Kraft, there's no way they're stopping Tyler Warren. I don't see it. I don't see it either. The Scott. I know we used to never lose to the Colts. They were like playing Cleveland. Now we can't blow anyone out. No, I don't think you see a blowout this whole year. I don't think that'll happen. Oh, shit. AWOL says $200 million defense and they can't stop an old lady from walking across the street. Zach Curry says the steel curtain just became tin foil. You aren't lying there. Tin foil curtain. We'll call it the foil curtain. They can't stop a damn baby stroller. I love the comments tonight, guys. You guys are fired up. The Scott, maybe the picks they made in 2025 will turn out for us next year when we have so much draft capital, but they can't develop players. Former players are coming out saying that, even Ben. Yeah, when you're having a struggle developing players and you're having a problem and other players are pointing that out, former players are pointing that out, it makes you wonder, we talk about this immense amount of draft capital and how much that's going to improve this football team. It's a potential improvement of this football team because you still got to pick the players right. You still got to develop them correctly. You still got to put them in the right way, utilize them schematically the right way. Every player is different and they're going to need to be utilized correctly schematically. Every player has a different skill set. And when everybody is good at this level, you have to tailor make things to your players. You just can't, yes, you have your fundamental base. Okay, I want to run this style defense or I want to run this style offense. Okay, it's your style, it's your identity, but each and every player inside of your system, inside of your defense or offense, has to have things that are tailor made to their skill set. You have to take advantage of the things that they do best. And every coach has to understand that. And if you don't do that, you become stale, stagnant, and you look like an egomaniac because it's only one way. And now you're looking like Tomlin, inability to change, unwilling to change. And that's what's going down. All right, let me try to find a comment from somebody that I haven't seen tonight. Steve Winters in the house. Let's go. Steelers. What's up, Jason? Let's turn it around. I hope so, man. Steve also says, think we need to go get another corner. I don't know. I think there's a ton of needs. I think anything that they would do before the trade deadline would be a vast improvement for a lot of the positions that they possess currently on this roster. AWOL, everybody on here is bang, bang, Steeler gang. Let's go. Let's start the climb. Amen, man. Amen. Amen. I'm about to be like Julian Edelman, man. Put my dip in and sit back and be chilling, man. Swagnificent. 864. Man, I'm uh I'm ev- I'm so glad to see you back, Jason, at Mike Drop Sports. Love the content, love the conversation. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Definitely much appreciated. Appreciate the love, man. Big Chet, Challenger 22 says Tomlin seems like he wanted to blame the offense. He does. He don't want to blame the defense. And why is that? Why is that, though, guys? Do we all understand why that is? It's because Mike Tomlin runs the defense. We want to talk about fire Terrell Austin, fire Terrell Austin. Just like they fired Canada. This is the same thing. Canada sucked. But the only one common denominator in both of those situations is Mike Tomlin. We want to talk about Matt Canada's offense, but according to many, Mike Tomlin had his thumb all over Matt Canada's offense. And then we talk about this defense under Terrell Austin, and we're not going to fool you or lie to you. This is Mike Tomlin's defense. Whether people want to admit that or not, it is. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe we put that dip in tonight and go real crazy. Put a big chaw in. Hey, that's what Edelnuts does. That's what Randy Moss used to call Edelman. Hey, Edelnuts. Hey, Edelnuts. We're laid back here at Mike Drop Sports now. Mm-mm-mm. We're not politically correct anymore here at Mike Drop Sports. Go, Pack, go all day. No, he said Pack suck. Yeah, it was Marquez Valdez Stanley. Where did he come from, guys? Is that the trade they just made? What time did that come out? Because I didn't see it. Somebody give me some information on the trade. I don't have a computer or anything right in front of me right now. EL Kermit 420. It's time for Tomlin to hit the road, bros. Had so many chances for change. Absolutely. Challenger said he sounded like he's throwing Austin under the bus. He was. He was. Crazy, ain't it? We got a super chat coming in from our main man, JD. Says 4 years with Green Bay and Aaron. 2 Super Bowl rings with Kansas City, played for Seattle, San Fran, Bills, Saints. Sounds like a journeyman. Yeah, he does. I couldn't remember where he was the last time, JD. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat again from you, my friend. Definitely much appreciated. We have Mark says we haven't even signed him officially. I didn't even see it, guys. I didn't. So I'm relying on you for that information. So I'm not saying anything actually happened. I'm just relying on you. Mark says it's a no cost signing. So yeah, if it's a no cost signing, that's awesome. I'm okay with those types of moves. I really am. And I understand sometimes like, oh hey, they're older or whatever. Great. Yeah, I get that. But I like things that only have plus because you can get rid of them at any time. That's the big advantage for this. That's the big advantage for those moves, and that's what makes sense. You know, I bought another Steeler jersey. What'd he say? Hold on, let me see what Aaron said about this jersey. He says, you know, I bought another Steeler jersey, but I returned it last week because I knew and I figured the money would be better spent. Uh, Amen. We are still going to give this jersey away. It's still sitting here. It's the TJ Watt signed jersey. Sean won it and donated it back to the channel, and we appreciate him for that. I'm going to actually get with Sean and see what ideas he has maybe on how to raffle that off and make it easy to do. I don't want to have like anything complicated to do with it. So we are going to get rid of that again, though. We're going to try. Daniel says, JD, you are a great man. Bless you, my friend. JD is great, man. I do like JD. I appreciate it. And I do appreciate the super chats, but he could never give me a super chat ever again, and we would appreciate JD. He's been around the channel a long, long time, man, since like the beginning. So JD is definitely one of those like true OGs of the channel, man. So besides the super chats, like he does give a lot of those super chats, and that's very generous and very thoughtful and much appreciated here on my end. But definitely, when you've been around that long, man, you always got a good seat at the table, no doubt about it, regardless of a super chat or not. We did that. Let's get to Challenger says, get a chance to get on TikTok and look for Mike Tomlin playset. It's hilarious. I have to. I've seen some people make fun of it. JD says, thank you, guys. Hold on. JD says, thank you, guys. Appreciate that, man. Uh, thank you, JD. You are appreciated for sure, buddy. And again, regardless of the super chats, you always got a seat at the table here at Mic Drop. All right, I'm trying to find some comments here. Zach Curry says, I do think we get him because people were already roasting him for or something. I'd have to check around. And but Mark is point with NFL on point with NFL info. Yeah, I trust Mark. I trust Robert Rowe. Those guys are usually good with their NFL info. I don't trust just anybody to throw it out there. That's why I say, guys, like we always in this name of the social media game nowadays, in this era of the social media game, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like my son will always say, "Oh, this happened or that happened," and I'll be like, "No," and it's just because people are making like clickbait stuff, and he just sees it, and he's 10, and he reads it real fast, and he's like, "Oh man, the Steelers are trading for this." Or they got this person, and it's like, nah, you gotta do your research with it, and I got to say this about the mic drop community, man. I got to applaud the mic drop sports community, like the people that are here all the time, that are here day in and day out. You guys are usually pretty spot on with your shit. Aaron says, no, I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm living here right now. So I stick with him no matter how bad they get. Where do you live, Aaron? JD, I think JD's up in Uniontown. I got to go meet JD. JD, I'm going to take you to lunch one day. You're going to pick a day, JD, and I'm going to come get you, and we're going to go eat lunch somewhere up in Uniontown. Maybe we'll go like Roadhouse or OG or something, Olive Garden or Roadhouse or Maloney's or something. I don't know, somewhere cool up there. We'll find some place to go eat. I'll take old JD out for lunch. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to decipher through, let you guys get your comments all in here right now and not ramble on. So do you feel like this wide receiver is going to help us at all? What do you feel about this guy? Because I've never really seen the guy play. I've seen him play lots over the years, guys. Again, I don't even know if it's official. I don't think it is. According to Mark, I don't think it's official. I think it's something floating around that's a real possibility. It's a no cost type signing because you're not giving away anything for him. But again, I have to go back and really look at his most recent football tape and really get to like take a deep dive into it before I want to give you my real opinion on that, because I think that's only fair for you guys. Which I will have that, and maybe I'll even put out an extra video on it if it does happen, or if not, if it's still like speculation around tomorrow, I'll go ahead and really brush up on that tonight. Um, but yeah, we'll have to see. I know he's been a good wide receiver in the past. Challenger says Tomlin's gotten by on bullshit for too long. Uniontown has Bigfoot sightings like crazy. Yeah, because people are tripping nuts, bro. You been to Maloney's? Yeah, Maloney's is alright. It used to be good. They used to have good prime rib up in Maloney's in downtown Uniontown. They used to have good prime rib, man. You used to be able to get the queen size, like the queen portion, or the king size. I'd go in there, and of course, I'd get that king size, and it was always super good, super mid rare, more rare than mid rare actually. But man, it was always so good. Bang Bang says he's better than Calvin Austin. Guys, I like the way Calvin Austin plays, and we got to remember this. He's coming off an injury, and that injury wasn't something just easy to come back from. You talk about shoulder injuries, and you talk about playing wide receiver, and having a painful shoulder really affects the things that you can do well as a guy like Calvin Austin. You're not going to be able to get to that top end speed because you're going to have that pain in the shoulder. And I know that's not his legs, but what do you do when you run? You're moving, right? And that's an issue. And CA3 is definitely going to have to have a couple more weeks really to get things going again. And those types of injuries can be really significant. Aaron says, hey, if this guy's better than Calvin Austin, I don't know why they waited until halfway through the season to do this, but okay, we'll see what he's got. Yeah, again, guys, I don't even know if it's true yet. So, or it might just be something that's in the works, but we'll have to see. Yeah, and that affects what? Your catch radius. It affects your running ability. It affects your ability to block downfield. It affects so many things. It affects your ability to get off of press man coverage because you're not as physically strong and able to move as quickly. And definitely the pain is going to be some sort of factor to that. Yes, they're going to get a shot and get out there and go, but we got to remember, man, every joint, especially the ones that are connected to your long bones, your main bones, like your arms, your humerus, and your femur, uh, all those joints, your tib fibs, all those big long bones, right? All those joints play such a vital role in everything that your body does. And people, will say, it's your shoulder. That ain't your legs. Get out there and go. There's a lot to this, guys, and it all plays a big variable in terms of overall health and your ability to perform at a high level. Unfortunately, I'll be in Uniontown. Passed away this morning. I'll probably be in Uniontown this week. My Aunt Rita was the best cook. Oh man, sorry, Challenger. Everybody, make sure you guys say a prayer for our friend Challenger, for his Aunt Rita passing away this morning. Thoughts and prayers, condolences to you, my friend, and to the family. Definitely very unfortunate to lose family members. It's always super tough. Definitely hit me up, man, when you're down here in Uniontown. I'm at home right now during the day. I'm studying for some work things for the hospital, and I got to take a test on November 14th, and then I'll be starting back to a new position. So, yeah, hit me up. I'm around during the day right now, so hit me up, man. Maybe we'll all gather up and hit a lunch up or something. Again, everybody, make sure you say a prayer for our friend. Mark Malone, CA3 stretched out for that one quick hitter to the left, flat real well. Yeah, and I'm not saying that he can't do it, and I'm sure he can, but it definitely is going to limit some of what you can do. I really truly believe that. That's just my knowledge of the medical field and knowledge of the way the body works and things. And I'm sure Cal's a tough son of a bitch, bro. So I'm not taking anything away from Calvin Austin. Jonathan Stevens in the house. This whole signing old wasted players is ridiculous. Why isn't Simmons signed? Then at least shaking my head. I don't know. There's something wrong with Justin Simmons for him still to be sitting there, guys. And here's another kicker here. You talk about Simmons, right? What just happened here? Deshaun Elliott is done. He ain't coming back this year. I can guarantee that. I didn't watch the Mike Tomlin press conference today, so I didn't get the official word. But from what I've seen with that injury, I don't expect him to be back anytime soon. So maybe the addition of somebody like Justin Simmons, they bring in Jabril Peppers. Maybe you add a Simmons. Maybe you add somebody from the practice squad. Maybe you figure it out that way. But they're going to have to do something to add that depth back. Basically, basically. Aaron Derrick, I live in Mount Washington right now by Grandview Park. Oh, damn. Hey, Aaron, when we come down, I'm taking my son, like I said, to a game. When we come down, maybe you can stop down in the parking lot and bullshit and hang out when we come down for the game. I really want to meet some of you guys. The only people that have I ever met anybody from the channel? No, I mean people I knew already that watch my show. But other than that, I've never met anybody that I never knew before until YouTube. Now I take it back. I've seen people. I had people yell like at the Outer Bank, or not Outer Banks, at Myrtle Beach, like, "Hey, Steel City, what's up? Mic drop." Like I've had that, but yeah, I never like stopped and like hung out with anybody. Yeah, he takes a fucking beating, doesn't he, Mark? Mm, all right, hold on. Let's get to the next comment. Kevin Lynch in the house. He says this team needs a culture shift. Defense looks slow. I don't think they can fix it. Jonathan Taylor will probably get 200 yards rushing on them. Yeah, guys, this game looks bad for the Steelers this week. It really, really does. We talk about the Steelers schedule. I have it right here, the 2025 schedule. I have it right there. And we're talking about the Steelers schedule, and you talk about the Indianapolis Colts, and I think that one's going to be a dead loss. And I think, honestly, if you look at this schedule moving forward, let's take the Indianapolis, Chargers, Cincinnati, and Chicago games. The next four games, I would be quite surprised if the Steelers finish any better than 2-2. I really, really would. So let's talk about that scenario. Just say the Steelers do perhaps over the next four games go 2-2. That brings them to 6 wins and 5 losses. That's a 6-5 football team past the midpoint. Is that knocking your socks off? Because I would be surprised if they come out of that any better than that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hank, I was just watching Roethlisberger's podcast. He said it doesn't appear they're making any adjustments at halftime. He was trying to not say it. Yeah, I mean, guys, we've been saying that a ton here too. And Ben's not wrong when he says it. They don't make any adjustments. You can see that on the field. They don't make any type of significant adjustment in any way, shape, or form. At least any that the common eye can see. And that's not good. That's not good. AWOL Bang Bang Steeler Gang says, did Tomlin really blame the offense in his press conference? No, not like blatantly. No. I didn't watch his press conference today because I couldn't look at him in the face today because I want to punch him. No, you're right, Scott. Challenger says, is Elliott done for the year or not? I'm hearing conflicting stories. Whatever it is, I know that he isn't going to be back for quite some time. So that's really where the Steelers are sitting with that. I don't know how he's week to week, man. Maybe he said that, but I can guarantee he's going to miss some time. That injury looked bad. And again, I didn't watch the Tomlin press conference today. I could not stand to look at him. I'm about to go kick my son's butt in there beating on stuff because of a stupid video game. He's got to go do his workout tonight. So he got to get his butt in gear here when we're done with the show. We're almost done. Yeah, Calvin Austin isn't a very big guy at all. I can imagine how hard he gets hit. Absolutely. All right, guys. We're gonna bounce off of here. I'm gonna get off. I just remembered that I gotta go do my son's workout with him and make him do a workout here. Well, not make him, but get him. He only likes to do it when I'm like with him doing it. So I definitely cater to that for him. So we're gonna do that and get him going. But we'll be back tomorrow, and I'll go over everything again here tonight. Any type of moves, I'll watch the Mike Tomlin press conference. I know I didn't want to, but I will, and I'll have some other talking points for us tomorrow. Again, I enjoyed being like Julian Edelman tonight, getting to have a little dip while I'm bullshitting with the crew. It makes me feel like I'm just hanging out with the boys, man, at the bar and having a cold beer and having a dip and chilling and doing all that kind of stuff. And that's what I want this channel to be all about. So if you're not liking, sharing, subscribing, please do. It definitely helps bring more people into our community. And that's what this is all about. Jason doesn't know more than you. Jason isn't better than you. This is a channel for all of you to come and bullshit like we're a bunch of friends hanging out, just talking football. I'm not going to sit here and bore you and act like I'm some schematic god, act like I know all things X's and O's. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and force my opinions down your throat. I'm going to give you my opinions. I'm going to allow you to have a voice and come in and sound off and say what you want to. And I want you to feel at home like we are just chilling, hanging out at a barbecue or in a bar. And we're just bullshitting. And that's what this has to be about. Because if it's not, I'm not in. I'm not in on it, man. I tried to make it something that it wasn't there for a while, to where I was just trying to be ultra X's and O's and like some superior analyst or something. And that ain't me, man. Yeah, I know ball. I know X's and O's, but that's not what I want. I don't want this to be like that. I don't want it to be such a prim and proper type of event, man. I want this to be a real chill place. We are going to work on some guests coming in. I do have some things out there. We may be seeing yet again here on Mike Drop Sports a former Pittsburgh Steelers legend making an appearance here in the near future. So that will be something to look forward to. Yeah, we're working on some things, and we're trying to find some time here during the season that people can fit into schedule and come on and bullshit and have a good time, man, and do things like we do here at Mike Drop Sports. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop. Make sure you hit that notification bell too to know when we're live and know when we upload new content. So see you guys.
Power takes an approach as a coach. Let's go. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's